All right, all right, all right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. I hope you're having a wonderful morning from wherever you're listening to us from. I'm in Lusaka and it's deathly cold here. Very, very chilly. So I hope you have your warm beverage with you as you're doing what you're doing this morning. And I hope that you are warm and ready to take on the day. So this morning on Prosperity of Your Soul, it is my privilege to come to you and lend my 2 cents on, I think, a subject that, because of the parade of information around success in our time, where we have young people talking about how easy it is to make um, money online and how success is easy, we think that the principles and precepts around the pursuit of fulfillment have been convoluted as well. And so I'd like to speak to what I feel is one of the most, if not the most, ingredient in the pursuit of fulfillment. And I say fulfillment um, interchangeably with success because I do not think that success can exist outside of fulfillment. And so the pursuit, therefore, then must be to live a fulfilled life, right? So in the conversation around that, when you study and listen to, or rather read biographies, listen to the stories of any man or woman of consequence, someone who has achieved great or who has been able to do exploits in whatever field of endeavor, when you study their stories, you'll find that at some point in their life, there was a time where they seemed to see something that other people could not see. They might have been ridiculed, they might have lost everything, they might have come to the end of themselves. And yet there was a certain picture that they had that allowed them to pull themselves out of that dirt and begin again. And so we hear stories about the fact that no, it is important for you to be disciplined. It is important for you to be motivated. And those are great and those are important, yes. But motivation has its limits. And discipline, too, can only take you so far. Interestingly enough, if discipline was enough, right, to get you to the place of achievement, of fulfillment, then the most successful people would be those who have gone through military training and who have had discipline instilled in their lives from the time they were young. But we see, and more often than not, we realize that many of these men and women also have breaking points. And some of them find themselves in situations where they're unable to cope. And yet they are the most disciplined, the most equipped, you would assume, to deal with adversity, to deal with challenges. And so, what then are we supposed to engage with in order for us to come to a place where we are pulling ourselves towards fulfillment, towards success, towards attainment? In the Bible, in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, there is a definition of the idea of faith that I think allows us to begin to unpack this conversation that we're having today. I'm speaking about vision. And I think the most critical element that one must possess in whatever human endeavor they are engaged in is faith. And we cannot have any discussion around faith without speaking about vision. Okay? So, what does the Bible say about faith? It says, faith is the substance of things hoped for. It is the evidence of things not seen. So you cannot discuss faith without talking about what it is that you see. But interestingly, it says it is the evidence of things that cannot be seen. Careful study there speaks to the fact that it is the evidence of things that are not immediately perceptible to the senses. So beyond the sight that we experience, beyond our five senses, is what then one must be able to see. It is evidence of what someone sees beyond the senses. All right. So the first part of that says this, right? That faith is the substance of things hoped for. It is the tangibility of this thing that you are looking forward to, of this thing that you have projected, that you are, anticipating, that you are thirsting for, wanting. So if you are looking to be a success in that particular business, you are able to project that success, and it is something that you're looking forward to, something that you are hoping for, right? But faith is not that blind hope. It is a tangibility, it is an evidence. It is a tangibility, right? It is proof. It is the receipts of the fact that that which is that you are hoping for is real and is real to you. And it is evidence of things not seen. What is the evidence of the fact that you have seen yourself independently, financially independent? It will show in your behavior, it will show in your actions, it will show in the things that you do, in your resilience to continue to push. How clear of a picture you have speaks to the vision that you have for your life. Men and women who have been able to attain, like I said, in life, are those who have embraced the ideologies of faith, come to a place where they have receipts of what other people cannot see. The picture is so clear in their heart and in their minds that no matter what happens, even when they are at rock bottom, they are able to pull themselves up because of the clarity of the picture they have put in front of them. Vision. Vision speaks to the clarity. No, so vision is not what you wish for. It is not, you know, just fluffing around. I would like to be a millionaire in the future. No, no, no. Vision is beyond that. It is not what we wish for. It is not something that you can throw around in a carefree manner. Vision must be set in stone. I would like to lend another scripture from the Bible where God is speaking to his servant Habakkuk, and this is one of the defining characteristics of vision. God speaking to Habakkuk says to him, write the vision down. It says, make it plain on tablets of stone. Now, those of you who are historians will understand that in bygones, in ages gone past, right, there were two forms of documentation. You could either write something on a scroll or you would etch it on tablets of stone. And when this conversation is happening between God and his servant Habakkuk, God does not tell him to write it on parchment or write it on a scroll. He tells him, etch this thing on tablets of stone. Vision is that thing that is cast in stone about your life. The things that you have so believed that no matter what happens, you can hold on to that picture. How clear is that picture? Is there anything that can sway you from that picture? That speaks to vision. If indeed downfall, adversity, challenges make you lose sight of that picture, that means that that is not a vision. That is something that you are hoping for or something that you are wishing for. But if indeed this thing is clear and has been set in stone in your life, then you have come to a place of vision, my friend. You have come to a place where this thing is who you are. And I like the idea of faith because faith does not speak in the future tense. Faith speaks about the now over the things that might not yet be immediately perceptible to your environment. And so someone might come to you and say, hey man, what do you think about the business landscape in Zambia? Because of your faith and how real your vision is, you are able to answer and say, I do not know what other people are going through, but as for me, my business is doing well. Not that we'll be doing well, no, my business is doing well, because that picture is a clear reality. It's real in real time. It is not something that you are looking forward to. It is something that you've already laid hold on. It is real to you. And no matter how far you want to go in life, unless you have seen, you cannot have. What you have not seen, you cannot have. What you have not laid hold on with the eyes of your faith, of your belief, you can never lay hold on with your tangible hands and feet and fists. So the question is, what can you see? What can you see? When you understand how powerful what you see is, you begin to realize what it is that you put in front of your face matters. There is a reason why the extension of what social media is what is television. Television. That means the beaming of vision. There was an agenda all the time for your attention. And so what was put in front of you was designed to begin to frame your reference of the world. So the more you look, the more you perceive, the more you view things, they begin to impact the picture with which you face and with which you walk through your life. When adversity hits, it is how strong and how rooted you are in the reality of your vision that will determine whether you are able to pick up yourself and keep going, or you'll be able to be swayed with the winds and the waves and begin to see different realities. There's a story in the Bible of the disciples being on a boat, and Jesus comes to them walking on the water in the night. Right? It's dark, the sea is boisterous. I mean, the lake was boisterous. And when Jesus approaches his disciples, um, they think it's a ghost. And he quickly answers them and says, "No, it is me." And then Peter says to Jesus, "If it is you, tell me to come." All right? This is now someone who is about to do exploits. He says, "Tell me to come." And Jesus says to him, "Come." And the Bible records that Peter begins to walk on water. But what happens that begins to bring him to a place of failure, of sinking, of a state of being distraught? He moves his vision. He redirects what he is looking at. He begins to look at the wrong thing. The Bible records he begins to sink. When Jesus comes to help him, he says to him, "Why did you doubt?" And so your eyes speak to either what you believe in, your faith, or your doubt. If you have ever come to the place where you have doubted anything that you had projected about yourself, you are absent of vision. It is not yet cast in stone. How real is it to you? How real is it to you? The conversations around, say, a gentleman like Steve Jobs and how he was able to build Apple to what it was, speak to the fact that his resilience goes beyond his ability to produce in what people were able to see. There's so many ups and downs that happened on that particular journey. But what you can see about that particular man is that in times where things did not make sense, there was a clarity that he had. There was a singularity of pursuit that caused him to attain, and to attain not only at the levels of just extra, no, to reach the upper echelons of attainment in life. How clear is the vision that you have? How clearly are you able to see yourself mounting up in that particular career? How clearly are you able to see yourself becoming a director, becoming your own boss, becoming a millionaire and a billionaire in the Zambian context? How clear is that? Is it something that you throw around in conversation? The reality of your vision will begin to define your expression of life. It will begin to define your frame of reference. It will begin to decide things for you. How clear is your vision? Last week I labored to speak. Excuse me, we have to keep warm. Last week I labored to speak about mentorship. Not last week, the other week, the other Thursday when I had the opportunity to share, I labored to speak about mentorship. And when you approach your mentor, are you able to clearly lay out that which you have as a vision for your life? Where are you going? There are many who today see themselves successful in one area of their lives. And before long, as they have conversation with other people, they're able to be like, maybe I should go into this area of business. Maybe I should go back to school. Maybe, no. How clear is your path for your own life? It may not be the correct path, but anyone who has got a direction is easy to direct. Let me say that again. Anyone who has a direction is easy to direct. It is easier to move or redirect a moving object rather to get rather than getting a stationary object to begin to move. All right? It is easier, hear me well, it is easier to redirect a moving object rather than it is to get a stationary object to begin to move. There must be a drive to the things that you do. There must be a direction that you are pushing in. In Zambia, we have a term that I used to take pride in and using when it comes to referring to myself. I'm a damanga. We like that. I'm a damanga. But that means you are undefined. A damanga is generally a hustler, or the word hustler, actually. Yes, I'm a hustler. And people will tell you, I'm a hustler, I'm a pusher. What are you pushing? In what direction are you hustling? It is important for things that you do to be defined, and that's what vision does for you. Vision gives you form. It gives you form. It gives you definition. So I'm no longer just a business person. I'm a business person in a particular area, in a particular direction. I'm no longer just a damanga. You know, you can be a financial, a financial systems kind of damanga, where your space and the place in which you play is the financial markets. What are you doing? How clear is the picture that you have for yourself? As a young lady who's looking to get married, how clear is the picture of the marriage you're looking to walk into? How clear is it? Because the clarity you have about that will define the spaces and places you are found in order for you to attract the kind of man who can come alongside you to build the marriage you're looking for. How clear are you about the kind of business you're building? Because it will define the spaces and places you find yourself in order for you to attract the kind of partnerships, the kind of funding, the kind of leverage you need. You cannot want to sell to high net worth individuals and you're found in Kamwala. What do you mean? That's in Zambia here. That's our marketplace here, right? You have to begin to define the things that you do according to a vision. According to that, have you so believed this thing that it begins to affect how you reason, affect how you decide, affect how you move, how you dress? So the way you dress speaks to us, those who are observing you, to give us an overview, an outline of the things you have believed about yourself, about the environments you expect to impact and explore. How strong is that picture? How viable have you made yourself? Because your picture is so clear. You cannot be everywhere. You cannot. You cannot. And what determines the spaces you play in is the clarity of your vision. Is the clarity of your vision. Who are you? What can you see? God says to his friend Abraham in the Bible once, he says to him, lift up your eyes, look left, look right, look north, look south. It says, as far as your eyes can see, that is what I have given unto you. It is a principle that governs our ability to possess. The extent of your vision is the boundary of your possession. How far you can see determines how much you can have. So you hear people seeing Zambia, my context here, they see Zambia as a space and a place where they cannot make their millions. And so their eyes are always looking abroad. And there's nothing wrong with that. Your vision might be the fact that you want to settle in a place like Canada, America, that's fine. But if you are in Zambia and you have defined a reality that robs you of the ability to become successful just because you are in this context, my goodness, you're going to struggle. In this Zambia, there are people who are billionaires. In this Zambia, the same Zambia that you live in, the same Zambia, the same Africa, the same South Africa, whatever the context you find yourself in, are you building a picture that is working against you? As far as your eyes can see, that is the extent of your possession. The extent of your vision is the boundary of your possession. How far you see determines how much you can have. You know, this vision thing is so powerful that sometimes if you are not able to build a positive vision, so if you're not able to define this man that you want to be, this woman that you want to be, it is as powerful, it is so powerful that you can actually use what we call anti-vision to drive your progress, where you deliberately sit down and ask yourself questions like, if I continue on the current trajectory of my life, what do I look like in 10 years? Current trajectory. So if you've embraced certain attitudes, certain behaviors that are detrimental to your progress, you build that picture of that negative end and you make it so clear that it drives you towards away from that picture. That is what anti-vision is, where you sit down and you are clear about where you are headed because of the current um, behavioral traits, the current decisions, the current behaviors.
Okay, we seem to have lost Coach Mike there. So I hope he'll be coming back very soon on his topic of vision. Doing extremely well, explaining very well. So hope we can get him soon. And then he'll be able to continue. So let's just wait for him. He should be there. He is. Okay, Coach, you may continue.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, I had a bit of a network glitch there. What we are saying is that how strong is the picture of your vision? How clear is that picture? How strongly have you laid hold on it? Have you etched it on the tablets of stone of your life? Are certain things about you non-negotiable? Is the picture of your end so clear that no matter what happens, no matter the adversity, no matter the slip ups, the hiccups, the speed bumps on your way, you are still able to dust yourself off because the picture is clear. There is nothing that can mar that image of where you are going and the individual that you are building and creating and curating. So, as you're walking through your day to day, my question that I hope will ring through your mind is, what do you see? What do you see? When left to your own devices, when you allow yourself into the crevices of your own mind, what do you see about yourself? What do you see about yourself? How do you build a vision that will stand the test of time? How do you build a vision that will be able to withstand the challenges that will come? How do you build a picture that is strong, that will be that will be evidenced by time, where you are so sure about where and where you are going and what you are to become, that no matter what happens or no matter what people say, as people ridicule you. And you know, I'll tell you something about vision, right? Vision speaks. The scripture that I had quoted for you, where God is speaking to Habakkuk and says, write the vision down, make it plain on tablets of stone. It carries on to say this, that they may run who read it. Right? So a clarity of vision will bring you to spaces and places where you are able to attract the kind of partnerships that can bring you to that manifestation. Then it says something to him, says, even if it tarries, even if it takes time, wait for it, because it will surely speak. So we can catch your vision in your language. If you are a millionaire in that picture and it is clear to you, you will never have reservations about saying it. So whenever you find yourself taking a double take, having a double take when someone asks you, so you think you're going to be successful, so you think you're going to make it, and you're like, just know that the clarity of that picture is yet to be established. When people come to you and question your validity, your value in the marketplace and say, no, if you're not serious, I'll fire you and you'll never get another job. You may not answer that person because maybe they are superior in that particular context. But within you, You should have something that immediately responds and says, no, 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 no. You have no power over how I do and where I go. Right now, I'm here, but I am making progress towards something. And whether you fire me, whether you what, there is something that I'm going to achieve, and this is it. How clear is that picture? It will make decisions for you. There are people sometimes who have refused or rather quit jobs because what the person or the context began to question was the clarity of that vision. Are you that kind of individual who has come to a place where you've laid hold on this reality, that whatever comes to question this reality, you immediately reject? Those are the kind of individuals who get to the place where they become men and women of consequence, of value. I like to use the word men and women of consequence. Where your dash, Dr. Nellie likes to speak about the dash of your life, where the dash of your life is so packed with the fact that you made an impact. Your community knows you. The spaces that you found yourself, they are still reeling from the weight of your presence. If you and I are going to be men and women of consequence, we must be men and women of vision. It must be clear to you what you are doing. If you're ever going to live a life of fulfillment, vision is an integral part of who you are, who you must be, and how you must develop yourself. I want to lend my voice to a couple of things that I feel that you must then begin to do in order to build a clear and concise vision for your life. One, take time to speak to yourself. Speak to yourself about yourself. Yeah. Um, in the book Think and Grow Rich, one of the things that was established is that you must find a way of inculcating this thing into yourself. And one of the most effective things to do is to speak to yourself. Um, Let me go back to the Bible here. In Joshua chapter 1, verse 8, the Bible says, this book of the law, this conversation must not depart out of your mouth, but meditate on it day and night, that you may be careful to do everything that is written in it. Then you will make your way prosperous and then you will have good success. You meditate, you take time to think through. You look at yourself in the mirror and you speak into yourself that reality. I am making it in this life. In this very context, in this very place, in this very Africa, my name will be celebrated across the nations. People will seek my advice in ways and in means that will cause them to travel to come and see me. That is you speaking into the reality of that vision. That is you erasing any doubt. Because people will not speak that positivity into you, so you have to be intentional about it. You have to ratify, you have to solidify this thing in you and make sure that as you walk through your life, it is so clear that whatever questions are raised by other people are jokes to you. How much time have you spent building that vision strong? Brick by brick, layer by layer, build that individual, build that business, build that enterprise, build that foundation so that it is real to you in a way that allows you to communicate that vision so clearly that men will be able to find themselves in their partnership toward that goal, and you'll come to the place of fulfillment. Vision. Vision, my friends, vision. How clear is the vision? How clear is that picture? How 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 hard? How what is the word I'm looking for? How tightly have you clenched that picture? How hard have you held on to that vision? How hard have you held on to that picture? Because in the absence of vision, we are just wishy-washying our way through life. Wishing. right? Hoping and never coming to the place of full achieving and establishment. So, once again, the question as you walk through your day, what do you see? What do you see? Because as far as your eyes can see, that is the extent of your possession. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. I hope to see you again next week. If I have the privilege to share, that will be amazing. But let's make sure that we tune in all the way from Monday all the way to Friday. This platform exists for you to educate, to empower, to elevate you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Shalom, shalom, shalom.